listening, multiple choice, multiple answers method. Let's look at the step-by-step method to use for this question type. This is what the question screen is like. So you have to answer the question, which is at the top right, by listening to the audio. And how will you answer that? By selecting all the correct options. Let's see what's the method to use for this. The very first step is read the question prompt and the options. You have 7 seconds before which the audio will start playing. Use those 7 seconds to have a quickly glance over the question and quickly glance over the options. What that does is it gives you some idea about what you are going to listen for. So you listen to the question, you'll note down some keywords in your mind, you look at the options. So it also puts you in the frame of mind to where you know what's the information that you are looking for from the audio. Next, when the audio starts playing, you should take notes and your focus should be on understanding the audio. So take notes, visualize, understand what the audio is all about. And when you are doing that, so keep looking at the screen. And where should you look at? You should keep an eye on the options while listening, because there will be some information. Sometimes they will talk about a particular option, or they might say something which is opposite to what's written in the options. So that will help you to eliminate and shortlist the options for your answer. Once you've done that, once you arrive at a shortlist, then you can validate the options. How will you validate? You will validate them by looking at your notes and on the basis of what you have remembered and what you have understood. After that, all you have to do is submit and go to the next question. So in a way, this is very similar to the reading multiple choice, multiple answers. So here you don't have a text, but you have that information in your notes, in your memory, and you know what you've understood and what you've visualized. So in a way, it's similar to that. Provided you are able to take down the notes properly, you are able to understand, then it's not any different from the other multiple choice questions. I'll give you an example. So this is, you can see the question prompt, there are options, and I'll play the audio, try to understand, and then try to answer this question.
So, as a child, I used to spend all of my time at my great-grandmother's house. On hot, humid summer days, I would dash across the floor and stick my face in front of her only air conditioner. But I didn't realize that that simple experience, though brief, was a privileged one in our community. Growing up, stories of next-door neighbors having to set up fake energy accounts or having to steal energy seemed normal to me. During the winter, struggling to get warm, my neighbors would have no choice but to bypass the meter after their heat was shut off, just to keep their family comfortable for one more day. These kinds of dangerous incidents can take root when people are faced with impossible choices.
All right, I'll give you a little bit more time to answer this. If you want, you can pause the video. All right, let's look at the answer. These are the correct options. The first one and the last one. They were forced to set up fake energy accounts. They had to bypass the meter to continue getting power. Which of the following are the things people were forced to do to meet the energy demands? These were the things they were forced to do. Let's see this step by step. So the first step is you read the question prompt and the answers. So I quickly had a look. Which of the following people do meet energy demands? Okay. So basically, which of the following things people were forced to do? So that means I have to select the options which sound correct based upon the audio. All right. And then I'll quickly glance over the options. Fake energy counts, ACs, pool money generators, frequent power cuts, bypass the meter. Okay. So now I understand that I'm going to hear something about energy, power, air conditioners, generators, power cuts, those kind of things. After that, now when the audio starts playing, I'll take notes and I'll try to understand. And when I'm listening to the audio, I'll keep my eye on the options. So I'll keep looking at set up fake energy accounts. They had to depend upon the neighbor's air conditioners. Why? Because when I hear something which is relevant, which mentions fake energy accounts, which mentions something about air conditioners, then I can focus on that option. So the good thing is by the time I reach the audio ends, I will already have maybe a short list of 3 options. So from 5, I'm down to 3. And you have to shortlist and eliminate whatever you can. So this step, it goes hand in hand with the previous step, as I just mentioned. So keep an eye over the options and shortlist and eliminate whatever you can. So if something sounds correct, make a note of that. Yeah, option number 1 looks all right. If something is against, eliminate that. The option number 2 looks wrong. And then in the end, what you have to do, you have to validate all options. So in this case, if I take notes, I'll note down energy, power shortage in community, fake energy accounts, bypass meter, neighbors, these kind of things. So when I look at the end, when I'm validating the options, I'll pick option number 1. They were forced to set up fake energy accounts, and I'll match it with my notes. And also what I've understood that yes, the audio was about the problems the people were having to meet their energy demands. And situation was so bad that many of them, they were forced to set up fake energy accounts. Similarly, many of them had no other option but to bypass the meter to continue getting power. But I don't remember anything where it mentioned that they used the neighbors' air conditioners. There was a mention of air conditioner. As the speaker says that it was a privilege. The grandmother had only one air conditioner, and to have the air conditioning, that was a privilege in their community. But doesn't mean that they were using the neighbor's air conditioner. So that's how you validate. And now I'm happy with option number 1 and option number 5. So I'll just go ahead and submit and go to the next question. So you see, your first goal is to convert that audio to something that you can refer to in the written form. So to reduce that to your notes, to your understanding, and then together, and once you do that, it becomes just like a multiple choice, multiple answers in the reading section. All right. So the fundamental skill here, note taking, that's important. And as I said, when you're taking notes, don't look down at the notebook, look at the screen, look at the options. And whenever they say something, when they mention a word which appears in an option, then pay more attention, okay? Because that option might be the option that you need to select, or that might be a wrong option. So do all of these things in parallel.